everybody. This is Lorraine.
And Jennifer.
And this morning, we're going to talk about one of my favorite topics, which is creating web pages that do more than just sit there and look pretty.
I like this topic too. I will admit I'm not necessarily a web developer or web designer, meaning I don't do it every day, but I am more of the person sitting on the other end that is trying to drive traffic to a page. And when I drive traffic to a page and it doesn't convert, I'm like, where this is not going to convert.
Well, and that's really the key. That's really sort of at the heart of all of this. You spend all of your time on social media. You spend money in advertising.
Yep.
Bring people to your website.
Yeah.
And then what?
And then it doesn't convert. And I got to throw out the math that nationwide 5% is the average conversion rate on a page.
Mm-hmm.
So, sometimes though people can get all the way up. I've seen 20, 30% for sure. And that's because they are designing web pages that are going to lead prospects to saying yes.
Absolutely. And, it's so interesting because, and I've looked at this for a really long time, the difference between people getting to your page and going, "Ooh, I want to know more," and getting to your page and going, "Ugh," is not that big. It's not that hard to design a good page versus a crappy one.
I think it's hard because people have expectations. This is one of my pet peeves, and I want to know if it's your pet peeve. When I come to a page and immediately there's a form like, hey, and we want service, and people think, oh, if we just move the form to the top, we'll get more conversions.
Well, see, and I think what this is people want one page to do everything. I want people to inform. No, different pages on your website have to be constructed for different purposes.
And they need to be connected in a logical, pretty designed way.
Absolutely. But also, if you're driving somebody from social media, and you've already done a lot on social media, maybe there was a video, maybe you've done all of these things, you've built the case. That person is coming. They are way more prepared.
Yeah.
Than the person. And my cat Benny is commenting. I don't know if you can hear him, but he has an opinion too. That person is way more prepared than the person who comes from a Google ad who has seen 2 lines of text.
Yeah.
That say you might learn something. So you got to think about, where are people coming from? Spin up another page. Don't try to have everything come to the same page.
Meet people where they are in the funnel.
Absolutely. And we talk about this a lot, and this is really the first section of the Random Strangers to Raving Fans class.
Yeah.
It's important because everything else is going to swirl around it. Everything else is going to build from this page. Yep. And so, whether you're doing social media or whether you're working on SEO, the first question you got to answer is, why does this page exist?
Yes. Yes. What am I helping to achieve? Gosh, it's just, I get riled up on this, because it's instantly like, well, but we need traffic. And nobody spends the time to think about the page that they're going to land on. And does it logically go through the steps that somebody would have on whether or not to do business with you? And you have to think about the steps that you do, the know, like, and trust in order to do business with someone. It's that simple, and it's designing it into a page that's going to make sense.
Absolutely. And, one of the things that, you said, okay, well, there's a form right up top. I often like a button up top that says register now, that drops you to the form, or buy now, or learn more, or whatever it is. Yes. So you say, hello, thanks for coming, get more info. I don't. Now, if I'm coming from a place where I have a lot of information already, I'm good. If I'm coming from a Google ad, which was, let's face it, skimpy, I'm
Yep.
like, I don't know if I want that yet. Great. Now give me more information. And you know what? Pop the form or the button again.
Yes. Yes. And there's not going to be that instant from that click. I think, just got to reiterate that just because they search for you, just because they want that, they might not be ready to buy yet. There might be other questions that they need to have answered. And don't make it this big, giant bunch of ugly text. Like, people scan from left to down to right in a Z pattern. If you can't scan and get the gist of what the page is about, then you failed in your design.
Absolutely. People read web pages like this now, or like this, with their thumb.
That's true. Mobile. Yeah.
And so they're just whipping through and they're looking for something to catch their attention. And so those headlines, a picture, a video, and the idea that different people react and respond to
Yeah.
different media. I'm high auditory, and I say this a lot. I got to hear it for it to make sense.
Yep.
But I'm also doing this sometimes when I'm on the go. And so I don't really want to watch a video because that just feels very constraining.
Yeah.
But I will read to an audio file. Someone else might like a video file better.
And somebody else might like the written. So that's why you should have the trifecta, and you should have them all so that you can hit every person in your audience and give the information to them however they would like to get it.
Absolutely. And, you said something earlier about, just throwing everything in there. A little bit of white space, some gaps between the information. So when somebody is looking at it on a screen, they can kind of catch their breath between sections is really critical.
I also think about, you just said it and you kind of said it briefly, was designing web pages for mobile versus desktop, because it is a different experience. And so you can't just design one for all of them. As much as we have responsive, where sometimes it doesn't lay right. So if you're not checking what it looks like on a mobile and then physically going through and be like, oh, this is difficult, then you're missing the mark.
Absolutely. And there's something else. It's not just a matter of arranging the information. There are things that just don't belong on your mobile page.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about an example that I use in the class. On desktop, we had this giant banner with this woman's face with the text laid over it. And on desktop, it looked beautiful. On mobile, what would happen is either her picture would be on top of the text, so you had to scroll by her face, or the text, and then you were engaged in what you were reading, and the next thing you saw was this great big face.
Yep.
And in that instance, we just stripped it out and went to just a dark background underneath the text, because on mobile, we didn't need her face.
People are impatient, and that's just the function of the internet. That's the function of today's society. We all want it now. And these little things add up to, oh, why did you do that? No, well, if you're not going to care about this, then you must not care about your business, and you must not care about that. Yeah, I don't want to do business with you. And then they leave.
Yeah. And the truth is, all of that flashes through their head just like that. I mean, it just whips through, and you don't get a chance to go, no, wait, the stuff you want is here. No, I don't see it. And so, no.
Nope. And then you're going to spend more money on remarketing, which I don't think you should not do. However, if I can get them the first time.
Absolutely. And, you said something early on. it takes a lot of traffic to your website to get a few conversions. So you have to drive a lot of traffic. I totally understand that. But you got to drive the right traffic. So I often see people that are throwing out these very generic ads and their web traffic goes through the roof, through the roof.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
And then nothing happens. And the reason nothing happens is because you drive in the wrong people. Drive fewer people
Yep.
with a targeted campaign, and amazing things happen.
Yep. Yep. Well, and I know we're going to talk about that next week. Just another subject that we have inside of here is the SEO aspect.
Mhm.
And I'll just little teaser, more traffic does not equal better SEO.
No, absolutely, absolutely does not. Okay, we're going to put a pin in it here. There is a link to our new Random Strangers to Raving Fans class. It started out as a live program, and now Jen and I have recorded all the sessions and added supplemental workbooks and worksheets. And check it out. I think if you enjoyed this conversation, I think you're going to enjoy the class.
All right. Take care.